Hey, greetings from Texas. We're gonna do coffee and donuts. And we're gonna get our fire started here. We got some Texas cedar. And we're gonna use a very rarely used method of starting a fire with the Bushcraft community. French matches from a French military MRE pack. Let's get things going here. And as usual, the key to being successful in starting a fire is preparation. So you just have to be patient, not be in a big hurry. Especially if you're using matches and you don't have very many matches. Anyway, the cedar, we don't have any fat wood here. I've never really used fat wood. We don't have much fat wood here in Texas. There's only a few piney regions. But we got plenty of this cedar. It's actually a juniper, I think a juniper thing, but Texans call it cedar. We'll get this started and then we'll get our coffee started and we'll make some donut dough. All right, let's see if that's good enough. Got all these twigs that fall from branches around my house. So I clean up the porch and get fuel at the same time. And we're going to be using the Chinese PLA mess kit for making the donuts. If you haven't checked out my mess kit cooking playlist, I've tried different mess kits from around the world. Same thing with military rations. Okay, it's off to a good start. Let's do our coffee. All right, we already got our water in there. I see a lot of people making coffee and they boil the water. And if you're a coffee aficionado, you don't want to get to a rolling boil. You want to have your coffee. You don't need boiling water to make coffee. And if you boil it too much, you're going to end up with bitter coffee. And you get a boil over and you get a big mess. So I just bring it up when it just starts to boil, and I shut it off and let it steep. You're going to make our biscuit dough. I didn't have any Bisquick, so I made my own. And what I have here in here for the biscuit dough, no eggs. This is 1 cup of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of sugar, and 1/3 cup of milk powder. And we're gonna add anywhere from 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 cup of water. We'll see how our dough turns out. And then for frosting, I usually make frosting with powdered sugar and milk, but we're gonna use, again, whole milk powder. This is organic whole milk powder. And I have some cinnamon and sugar. I normally use powdered sugar and milk. You just mix it up till you get a kind of glaze that you like. And this is actually the first time I'm going to try it with this milk powder. But let's get our dough going. Start off with that right there. And I leave when I knead in the bag, I leave a little area there for the air to get out. And you want a dough kind of similar to bread or biscuit. When I was at Boy Scouts, we made biscuits with just Bisquick and water. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to keep an eye on coffee water. We're going to end up turning this out here onto this plate to knead it. All right, let me go ahead and dough's a little wet, so we're going to add a little bit more flour. And this is just regular flour. When I was a kid, my parents made donuts with the canned biscuit dough. And your dough is usually ready when it doesn't stick to your hands anymore. Okay, and there we have a nice little smooth dough ball. Okay, we got our pan on the fire with some oil. It's about half full. And let's go ahead and make our donuts. Okay, I think I can get three donuts out of this, which will be perfect for me. And you don't need a donut hole maker, just tear a hole. You can add oil if you want. Try this frosting experiment. So I have about 3-to-1 ratio of sugar to cinnamon. And here's our powdered milk. And very little water. I was using granulated sugar, and you'll just get a grainier glaze, that's all. Pretty good. So That's our glaze. Let's go ahead and check our oil. If it bubbles, it's usually, ooh, that's hot. Usually when you get bubbles, it's at least 325 degrees. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Yeah, it's pretty hot. That's not done yet. It's not going to be done inside. It's kind of like the first pancake. If you've made pancakes before, you know when you put the first one in, it's always an experiment. Okay, so we're going to just take the donut. There you go. All right, well, there's our donuts. Let's let them cool off for a minute, and let me pour some coffee. Oh, let's have some coffee first. That's good. That's Black Rifle coffee that came with my last battle box. So let me try this first one and see what happened to it. And when that oil's too hot, sometimes the outside is gonna, especially because I have sugar in it, will burn up. Oh, turned out pretty good. Just perfect inside. Doesn't taste burnt. I don't know if you've ever had Portuguese fry bread or other fry breads. Not as good as Krispy Kreme, but in the field, and you're craving a donut, not bad. And it's even better with the coffee. And if you wanted to, you can just mix Bisquick with water and, you know, have a rudiment in your bread and make a donut out of that. But adding the sugar, the milk. Oh, this one, the last one's perfect. Also, the inside's done, and the outside isn't as dark as the other one. Okay, well, that's Donut Field Expedient US. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you stopping by.
And thanks for watching.